Now, all these things are possible if you believe, if you're ready for change. But I have to say this, there are all kinds of folks who are telling you you should not believe. They are warning you, don't believe. That's right. And so let me just in the interest of fairness, let me describe to you some of the arguments that are being made. Point number one, Obama may have good ideas, but he has not been in Washington long enough. We need to season and stew him a little bit more. And boil all the hope out of him. And then maybe in 20 years when he sounds just like us, maybe he'll be ready. That's an argument. That's an argument. You've heard it. That's the experience argument. And I have to remind people that, first of all, what matters is judgment. And some people may take a long time and they never get good judgment. But the one thing that people are clear about is the last thing we need is to have the same old cast of characters doing the same old things, playing the same old Washington games over and over and over again, and somehow expecting a different result. We can't take that risk. We've got to try something new. All right, so that's argument number one. Argument number two. I've really been enjoying this argument. It says, well, Obama can talk good. He is inspiring, but he doesn't have enough specifics. You know, it's all talk. He's not a doer, he's a talker. You've been hearing this argument a lot lately. Now, you've been hearing this argument. Of course, this argument ignores the fact that for 20 years, I've been in the business of change. As a community organizer, as a state legislator, as a United States Senator, providing health care for people who didn't have it, making sure that we had a criminal justice system that was working, dealing with issues like nuclear proliferation or alternative energy. So people just pretend that track record doesn't exist. But there's something more cynical about this. The notion is that if we have somehow gotten people excited again about politics, that there's something suspicious about that. You know, if you've got a political candidate that people actually believe in, then there's something suspicious about that. You know, they are trying to feed you with a cynicism that says you should just go back to sitting on the couch and complaining about how bad politics is instead of coming out to rallies like this one and getting involved to bring about change in America. So just be clear. Just be clear. Speeches don't put food on the table. But the only way that we're going to bring about change is if all of you get excited about change. Because then that's the only way that we're going to take on the special interests. That's the only way we take on the drug and the insurance companies to get health care reform passed. That's the only way that we take on the oil and the gas companies to get a new energy policy. If you are not involved, if young people especially are not involved so that we can form a working majority for change, then nothing's going to happen. So I make no apologies for being able to talk good. I make no apologies for getting people excited about their government. Because I believe the government can work. I believe the government can work. All right, so that's argument number two. By the way, one thing I do have to say about Senator Clinton, she says, well, speeches don't put food on the table. Well, you know what? NAFTA didn't put food on the table here in Youngstown either. So I'm happy. I'm happy to have that discussion. Happy to have that discussion. Now, argument number 3. I'm just going through all the arguments here. Argument number 3. It says, well, Obama has not been battle tested against the Republicans. This is what Hillary says. She says, you know, I've taken on the Republicans. Obama, you know, they're going to go after him. And I've got to explain to them, I'm skinny, but I'm tough. I am skinny, but I'm tough. I'm from Chicago. We know how to play politics in Chicago. So they better not try to come and swift boat me. We'll come right back at them. And I am happy to have a debate with John McCain. You know, I honor John McCain for his service to our country. He is a genuine American hero. But when John McCain talks about spending another 100 years in Iraq, then that's a good reason not to give him 4 more years in the White House. When John McCain said back in 2001, when George Bush was passing tax cuts for the wealthy, that was irresponsible, but now he starts running for the presidency and he says, I want to continue those Bush tax cuts for the wealthy, then the Straight Talk Express has lost its wheels. And I'm happy to have that debate. Because if John McCain's attitude is that we have had a good past 7 years and he wants to continue the Bush legacy, then he is mistaken. We don't want to be the party of yesterday. We want to be the party of tomorrow. That's why I'm running for President of the United States of America.